Okay, so tell us about the tags.
Okay, these are your fire-rated strips that are certified. So they have been fire protected, coated, and there is a date been stamped on here. So you don't want to lose these. You don't want to cut them off. You don't want to rip them off. You want to make sure they stay on there because that's the proof that they've been fire coated. Now, you may have even gotten something from GNS who installed these. They may have given you some kind of certificate or something like that as well. I always like to keep them on the curtains as well. All right, so when you bring your curtain down, it's best not to have it all the way on the floor. They just wear out quickly. There's a metal chain in the pin, and they kind of drag on the floor, and they just wear out. So leave them an inch, 2 inches off the floor, and they'll last you a long time. What you have is you have your spiral staircase, okay? Mm-hmm. It's going to get off onto your loading bridge, okay, which is above. Uh-huh. It's only about 4 feet wide, okay? And then there are ship's ladders. You can see the grid is actually a metal grid that's a kind of a mesh looking, and that goes the entire length of the building. All of the loft blocks and pulleys are above that. So all the cables are above that. And there's every pickup point, which we're thinking there's 6 pickup points on every line set. So every one of those has a cable. And then that goes up to a pulley, and then it comes back to the next one, it picks up. Now you got 2 cables, and it goes on all the way back to the main spool, and it's spooling all 6 cables. This particular building in the past has had issues with moisture, and those have rusted in this building, and they've been replaced approximately 5 or 6 years ago, something like that.
2019 or so.
2019 or so, something like that, okay? All of those line sets up there, the actual cables, not the actual sets that come down, the cables that go on the gridiron, those all got replaced because they were covered in rust, and we didn't know how deep rust goes. You never know, right? Rust, it never sleeps, so it could go all the way through it. It could just be surface, but we don't know. So when we see it, we have to say, hey, it's time to replace that. So those were all replaced. Big project, expensive.
So you said about $60,000?
I think, if I'm not mistaken, we put that out to bid, and I want to say, I know TPI won the contract. I want to say yes, it was around $60,000. Okay. To do that.
And do you have any idea prior to 2019 when that had last been addressed?
I was told that it wasn't addressed at all. It's never been addressed.
Wow. Okay.
That nothing was ever done. No one was ever going up there. Now that's what I was told.
And so you think with the degree of moisture in the building and everything, we should be doing this once to twice a year?
I think you should be going up there and inspecting these things twice a year. And not only inspecting them, maintenance them. All of those pulleys need greasing. And then those cables, they make some stuff that you can put on them that's kind of like, and forgive me, but it's kind of like Vaseline. And you cover these things, and it keeps them from rusting, and it keeps that rust out of there. Okay? So if no one's been up there in 5 years,
it needs to be done.
It needs to be done. And not only that, it's just me talking, but is the rust back? I hope not.
Yeah,
I hope not.
And so, is there a particular type of oil that you recommend for the pulleys?
I will get you that information, and I will send you that. If I can get your information, I can send you all the documents that you're going to need for that.
That sounds good.
And to where you can get it and what it needs done, and it will show you what to put on them.
Okay.
A lot of buildings don't need it. They don't, because they don't have a moisture issue. For whatever reason, this building has a little higher moisture, at least up there.
Yeah.
And that's why they rusted so bad.
Cinder block, constant.
Yeah. Just, maybe just the nature of the building too. You don't know. And so, you know, there's some of that that's happening here as well. You know, you can see rust on some of these things. So while you're going to get some of that, I mean, the only reason it's rusting is because it's exposed to some sort of moisture in the air. So that tells me that there's some moisture in this room. Not the end of the world, but we just need to make sure on things like that up there that, you know, we get it lubricated and we, you know, try to prevent the rust. All right, and while you got the camera going, did you record that squeak a while ago?
Yeah.
When I brought this down?
It would have picked it up. Yeah.
It would have picked it up. Okay, all right. That's a product of not maintaining.
And that was on our big screen.
That was on 14, your big screen.
Okay.
But I have a feeling if you put heavy weight on any of them, we may hear that. Now, we're counterweighting the leg set right now, okay? The leg is way off balance, okay? It's got way too much weight on it here, and when I go to pick it up, it just falls down. I think we saw that. You got that recorded. Is that
Yes.
correct? Okay. All right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a couple of the weights off and then see if we're countered.
Okay.
All right. Okay. We got this locked down so it doesn't fall on us. Your call, 1 or 2?
2. I think it was way too heavy.
I think it was 2. It may be too much to but we can try it. Okay, so now we got a couple of bricks off there. Let's take our safety off. Let's see where we're at. Now, before, that was falling back down. And see, it's slowly falling back down now. So, again, be safe. Put the safety back on. Bricks in place. Take another one off. Oh, come on now. We're going to be close. One hand. That's what you want, guys. That's counterweighted. When you can stand here and anybody can lower these things down like this. This is what you want. No squeaking. Okay?
And I know there are plenty that need adjustments because there's some that are just like, if you don't hang on to the rope, it's sliding out of your hands. you know?
Yeah, and that's the way this one was.
Yeah,
That's the way this was.
Yeah.
And I can make this one, you know, like right now, it wants to go. See, I'm not doing that. So, but you can hold on to it. So it's now you're kind of at a Ford Chevy. You know, I mean, is it going to ever be perfect? You know.
And do they make smaller increments of weights? Or
You can. And there were some smaller ones here, and we'll try to add one of those.
Okay.
Like,
And see-
like these?
Yeah, like that right there. We'll try to add one of those. So let's go back up. And this will tell us, yeah, see, this is a little bit tough. So that tells me I need more weight coming down.
Gotcha.
Again, for safety reasons, we're going to lock it back in place. Okay. Want to try it? What do you think that is? You think that's 10 pounds, 5 pounds?
It's at least 10. It's bigger than 5.
Okay.
Making sure I didn't drop my finger.
Yeah. Let's see where we're at. We got another one of those too. Right? End up putting it on there, but- Okay. better. I have to pull it a little bit, that's what you want. But this is good.
Then you let go of the rope, and what happens?
I'm sorry?
If you let go of the rope now, it stays put.
Yeah.
Good.
Yep. All right, so that's how you properly counterweight a line set. All right? Anybody could pull that up and down now.
Yeah.
Anybody could accidentally let go of it. Okay? It's not going to fall.
So
Before it would.
I mean, on top of the ones that you're doing today, we need to go down every line and see that they're all set up.
Yeah. Okay, you do. So you need to do exactly what we just did. You're going to have to raise and lower and feel of it. Take your time and go through every one.
Yeah.
And then that is counterweighted. And not only that, but when you have a performance, this will never change. But when you have a performance and you have show pipes, that you're going to hang a chandelier, or you're going to, hang something you need to fly in, right?
Yeah,
A scene or
that's
something
changing all
like
the time,
that. It's going to change every show.
Yep.
And that does happen.
Okay, and so now you know how to counterweight.
Yep.
Not tough, but once you get it set, on most things, it's going to be set. Do you guys see that?
Uh-huh.
That's not countered properly. It's countered too much. There's too much weight on here. Okay, watch. I'm going to show you so you can see this on film.
Okay.
If I'm in the way, let me know. Okay. So this is that swivel leg. Okay, on both sides. There's a pipe batten that runs all the way down the length of the stage. All right, and there are cables that have like 5 to 6 pickup points on that bar. Okay, this controls all of those cables.
Okay.
And they all spool up when we're doing this, all right? So that's going to come down as we pull number 10 up. But watch what happens when I pull this up. Watch what happens when I let go of it. So if I pull it up, it's very hard, number one. Okay? Now I'm holding this now. Shouldn't be that way. This is what happens if I would let go, it would slam down. That's not counterweighted, okay? And because the weight is here, I know that there's too much weight on this. So let's take some weight off of this and see if we can balance it out a little bit. And we'll get it to where it'll be much easier to do. All right, so one thing you always want to do when you're doing this, because if we take too much weight off of it, it's going to go the other way.
Yeah, right.
It's going to fall down. So let's always lock back in place, okay? Always lock it back in place. That way if I take too much weight off of here, then we'll be safe, or anyone that's on overstage will be safe. During a show, just want to kind of help you guys out here. During a show, and I look, I've got it here. Now this may be the correct tape, I don't know, we'll see. A lot of times, every school's different, but you'll see tape on these lines, and that's to mark how far down when it's dark, right? It's dark in here, and during a play, we need to know how far down to come, and so that's why it's been marked that way. And let's see here if we get that to here. Is that close to where you guys have that, or does it go further?
Yeah, that's about right.
That's about normal?
Yeah.
Okay, so now, we're going to take this, raise the safety pin up, get our T-handle back, yeah, and just lock that back in place, like that, okay? So now that's locked in place. But you saw, now, that is, well, it didn't even make it all the way up.
Right.
If you see, it didn't make it all the way up to the loading bridge.
Right.
So that's why you have to load up top.
Gotcha.
So if you were to hang more things,
Somebody loaded that while it was down here instead of up top.
no,
Is that what
they
you're saying?
probably loaded it up top, okay? And they may have had to do 3 or 4 times
Gotcha.
to get it countered out, okay? So you're basically looking to just counter it out. And if you think that you've got 100 pounds on a line set that's being overstaged, that needs to go up and down, you need 100 pounds on your line set,
Okay.
Okay, and you figure out which one is which or whatever it is. And if you have a scene or something like that, and you can kind of guesstimate, you know, then you start adding things on. But really, you need to run them all the way up, load them, come on down, maybe load it with half, okay? Because you remember, you have to pull this, that weight, right? And so then you want to put your scene on it. Now you're kind of half, and then you've got to go back up and put some more weight until it really feels comfortable, to where it really feels like that you're not struggling.
Right.
You know, that anybody could do this, and it's counterweighted.
Gotcha.
I know I keep saying that,
No, yeah, no,
but that's
that's
really what
important.
it's all
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
I'm going to walk out here and look at this.
Okay.
Okay? I bet there's going to be another piece of tape that comes back up in here.
Yeah, I think I see it.
There it is, right there. I bet that's designed to go right there.
Yeah. That's about where it was, I think, when we started.
So, we'll pull the safety up, lock it back in place, pull this down until it goes over the notch, and it's set. I will put a couple more weights on that and see if we can't ease that up a little bit. It came down easy because this is heavier than I have weight here.
Yeah.
So I was kind of struggling to get that back up. So that tells me I'm not completely offset. So I need to add a little bit of weight to this. So let's go ahead and do that so I can show you how to do that. See, now this is the other thing too. Are we going to have enough room to get this all the way down?
Yeah, I was just wondering.
Yeah. See, I can load this, well, because I'm so counterweighted, I'm close, I can do that from down here.
Yeah.
All right, I'm not completely empty, so I have to start at the top. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So, that's where that is. All right, you want to try this?
Sure.
Okay.
Am I going up or down?
Now you want to try to raise it up and down? You want to try to pull
What am I
it?
trying to do with that?
It would go, no. You just pull this.
Okay.
That's going to raise this, and it's going to lower. So that's it. And that's probably going to be the heaviest one you have. Because that's the heaviest thing you have right there.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go any further. We'll leave it up. So, oh, you can do this. So pull your ring all the way up. Pull the handle up. Grab the rope. There you go. Perfect. Slide that down until you hear the click. There.
Oh, gotcha.
And we're in there. All right, so that one's locked. So you kind of got the idea of how to load it, where to do it, and what it's going to look like if it's not counterweighted.